This is a special 27 Club edition. There is a phenomenon in rock and roll referred to as the 27 Club. The term applies to a notable group of rock stars who tragically passed away at the age of 27. It was first applied in the early 1970s after three famous musicians died within a year of each other. These deaths were random and unrelated except for the age and similarities in the manner of death. Here are some notable rock stars who were part of the 27 Club. Jimi Hendrix. He's widely regarded as one of the greatest guitarists in rock history. His innovation and forward focus with the electric guitar holds influence to this day. By 1970, his band, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, had broken up, and he had begun another group called Band of Gypsies. By September, his health had been in decline from a number of factors, including exhaustion, a chronic lack of sleep, and an apparent flu-related illness. He spent most of the day of the 17th with his girlfriend, Monica Dannemann. The next morning, she discovered Hendrix unresponsive in her apartment in London. Dannemann called for an ambulance at 11:18 a.m., and Hendrix was taken to St. Mary Abbott's Hospital, where attempts were made to resuscitate him. He was pronounced dead at 12:45 p.m. The post-mortem examination concluded that Hendrix had choked on his own vomit and died of asphyxia while intoxicated with barbiturates. Dannemann stated that Hendrix had taken 9 of her prescribed sleeping tablets. The suspicion was that he had grown ill while sleeping, but was unable to turn over and vomit due to the sedation. On October 1, 1970, Hendrix was buried at Greenwood Cemetery in Renton, Washington, not far from his birthplace of Seattle. Next up, Janis Joplin. Joplin, born in Texas in 1943, became famous at the Monterey Pop Festival in June of 1967. Hendrix had played at the same festival, coincidentally. By 1970, she had broken from the band Big Brother and the Holding Company and had released I Got Them Old Cosmic Blues Again, Mama the previous year, which hit the top 5 in the States. She had formed a new band called Full Tilt Boogie and was making a new album. Though she had struggled with drugs for years, she was apparently clean during the recording sessions and only imbibed after hours. On October 3rd, she went out for drinks with friends after sessions, though later that night she got high on heroin. She went out for more drinks, but when she returned, she apparently entered her hotel room, fell to the floor, and hit her head against the room's dressing table. She lay there for 18 hours until the Full Tilt Boogie manager, John Cook, became concerned. He found Joplin dead on the floor. The coroner determined that Joplin died of an acute heroin overdose, although it was said to be accidental. Friends insisted that Joplin had not died of a heroin overdose, but of blunt head trauma, although it's difficult to argue against the official ruling of the coroner. The album Pearl was released posthumously in 1971 and hit number 1 in the States. Finally, Jim Morrison. By 1971, the Doors lead singer was living in France and appealing an earlier conviction of indecent exposure and open profanity stemming from an incident in Miami, Florida the previous year. The band had released L.A. Woman earlier in April, and the LP hit number 1 in the States and featured 2 hit singles, Riders in the Storm and Don't You Love Her Madly. Morrison moved to Paris in March to get clean from heroin and alcohol, lose weight, and get back in shape. He was living with his longtime girlfriend, Pam Corson. On Saturday, July 3rd, around 6 a.m., Corson found his body submerged in the bathtub. During the next 72 hours, a doctor visited the flat and a death certificate was issued. The official cause was listed as heart failure. No post-mortem examination was performed due to French law. During this time, Morrison's body remained at the property. Wrapped in plastic and packed in dry ice, it was kept in the bathtub where Corson found him. It would remain there until undertakers finally delivered a coffin. He is buried in the famous Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris. In 1990, due to heavy fan traffic and deterioration, Morrison's grave was renovated and a new headstone installed. In Part 2, we'll look at 3 other unfortunate members of the 27 Club. If you like this video, subscribe, share, and we'll keep doing more.